Good morning to you, Grenada Carrier Crew, pretty much like the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Good morning and welcome to this segment of Good Morning Grenada. I had the opportunity to peek outside during the obituaries and realize that it's really overcast in the southern tip of the island. We will get more information in the weather report that comes up just a little after 7 o'clock with the Met Office at the Morris Bishop International Airport. 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning. How are you this morning? Hope you didn't forget to pray with the family this morning, especially the young ones as they make their way to school. Yeah, you've got to pray with them. You got to instill some, good values in them today. Let them do it one at a time. Let them be good today. Tell them the importance of sharing, Share with your less privileged friends. Okay, folks, let's delve into it. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather coming up at just 15 minutes on to 7 o'clock. So let's get into the word for the day. And the word for today is encapsulate. Encapsulate. And encapsulate means to show or express the main idea or quality of something in a brief way. Here's how it can be used in a sentence. Her first album encapsulates the sound of the 90s. Encapsulate, E-N-C-A-P-U-S-U-L-A-T-E. It's a verb. Write it down, jot it down in your personalized dictionary. It's going to increase your repertoire. It's going to, make your vocabulary bigger. When you're talking, you can interchange words. Encapsulate. It means to show or express the main idea or quality of something in a brief way. And it can be used in that manner. Her first album encapsulates the sound of the 90s. Yeah. And now for the thought of the day. Procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow that should have been done the day before yesterday. I like this. Procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done the day before yesterday. I'm guilty of that. Yeah, I procrastinate a lot. Some folks say I live on the edge. I like to live on the edge. I like to wait on the last minute. It's not a good practice. Do not procrastinate, right? Do what you've got to do today. Yeah, make sure you get it done today, not tomorrow, but today. As what's his name again? That won the Soca Monarch this year? Yeah. Terra the Governor. Today. Do it today. Nice. I want to say good morning to my brother Marvin and your dear lady Yvette and the entire home circle out there in Westerhall. Call it Stone Road. Good morning, Miss Jacob. Good morning. How are you this morning, darling? Hope all is well. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Miss Anne-Marie Taylor and family out there in Corinth, good morning to you. The McQueens, Mr. Leon and Miss Merrill, good morning to you. Zilon, how are you doing, Papi? And we look next door and we extend our deepest condolences to the Joseph family on the passing of your dear loved one yesterday. I urge you to be strong in this time, all right? I want to say good morning to Mr. McQueen and your dear wife out there in Pedmota, just at the bottom of John Dick Hill. How are you doing, Papi? You and the entire family, how are you doing? I call him McQueen the truck man. Yeah. Morning to you. All right, let's see what's going to happen this morning as it relates to the buzz. I want to remind you also, folks, coming up from November the 11th and running to December 23rd, Jingle and Mingle and the mid-morning segment from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah. Join the GBN together with its partners as we create that Christmas atmosphere for you. Good, so don't forget, that's a date. Don't be late. Don't you dare be late with that this morning. All right, so today, well, we looked at this yesterday. We extend congratulations to her, the first female labor commissioner. Well, Mr. Lord, Reginald Lord, my good friend, very learned guy. Yeah. He proceeds to his retirement and the country's first female takes over. Congratulations to you again. Good morning to the folks inside of Grenada in St. Andrew. Yep. And also what we'll be looking at this morning, the revitalization of Livera, right? Enhancing the sustainability and climate resilience of the Livera coastline. Yeah. Once again, good morning to you, Mr. Tyrone Buckmeyer. He also does a lot of work in the conservation process in Grenada. All right, can't remember the name of your organization again, but he's very active in that. He's not only the director of the Grenada Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic, but he's also instrumental in the preservation of scenic areas, conservation process. Also, for 2022, Grenada collected more than $112 million from the Citizenship by Investment program. The chairman wants the public to be more informed about the program's undertakings and wants more appreciation of its benefits. We'll be looking at that, the CBI program. It has been controversial in the past, and we are going to look at that this morning. We want to hear your thoughts. Get your thoughts in place, right? Get them in order. Okay, Mitch Phillip now faces the High Court for the alleged death of his girlfriend, Chanel Alexis of St. Mark, as the trial now gets underway. If we have time, we'll look into this. I personally prefer not to deal with these, sad stories. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow morning, if the good Lord spare our lives, we will be joined by Mr. Tyrone Buckmeyer as we look at GBV, gender-based violence. Yeah, we're seeing, we still have that around, and it's something that I wish, could just disappear. But it wouldn't unless we change our thinking, all right? We need to change the way we deal with issues. Yeah, a lot of angry people out there. Well, the society is becoming an angry place. Well, it is an angry place. And there's nothing wrong with anger, as Mr. Buckmeyer will tell you. Anger is a normal human emotion. How you deal with it is what is important. Yeah. Good night. So remember the word for the day, encapsulate. It means to show or express the main idea or quality of something in a brief way. His speech encapsulated the essence of the organization. Yeah, that's another way you could use it too. Nice. And the thought for the day, it says procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done the day before yesterday. Do not procrastinate. Do what you've got to do now. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. Remember that. Tomorrow is not promised. I want to say good morning to my good papi boy, Eggies. How are you doing this morning all the way in Pomerose? As a matter of fact, good morning to Pomerose. Pomerose and Latant, good morning to you. It will be remiss of me if I don't say good morning to Apritut. Good morning, Apritut. Yeah, what it means again? Beautiful hill or something like that? What does Apritut mean? I can't remember. Those guys were having a discussion on that the other day. Apritut, yeah. Beautiful view or something like that, I think it means. So good morning to all the wonderful folks up there. It's 18 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. I I do hope that you have a wonderful day today and get your thoughts in gear. Right? I want us to look at this story here where it says Grenada collected 112 or more than $112 million from the CBI, that's the Citizenship by Investment program, and the chairman wants the public to be more informed about the program's undertakings and wants more appreciation of its benefits. And that, as you know, that's a program where, foreigners can become citizens by investing huge sums of money into the Grenadian economy or get a passport and all these things like that, right? It has been, sort of chaotic in the past. We heard a lot of, negatives from it. It's something that is, that regional countries have used to generate revenue. So we are going to look at that clip. My TV guy is going to get that clip ready for us, and we'll have a discussion on it. I also want us to look at the enhancing of the sustainability and the climate resilience of the Livera coastline. Yeah, these are the two main topics that I want us to look at. The folks from the north of the island, get yourself ready. I want you to tell us what you think can be done to enhance that area. Yeah, the ecosystem up there is, it's something that we need to preserve. Yeah. All right, folks, so this is where we take the break and we do the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather here. For those of you on television and the social media platforms, you will be seeing a rebroadcast of last evening's television news, GBN's television news. But see you on the flip side of 7. See you then.
Delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Mitch Phillip now faces the High Court for the alleged death of his girlfriend Chanel Alexis of St. Mark as the trial now gets underway. More in this report.
The non-capital murder case brought against Victoria St. Mark resident Mitch Phillip in connection with the May 30th, 2020 death of his 23-year-old common-law wife, Chanel Alexis, commenced at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Monday. The matter gets underway nearly 1 year after the 51-year-old Phillip was committed to stand trial in the High Court for non-capital murder at the end of his preliminary inquiry before Magistrate Francine Foster at the Victoria Magistrates Court in November 2021. Phillip, a joiner of Queen Street in Victoria St. Mark, was 49 years old when he was charged in June 2020 as the main suspect in connection with the death of the young mother of two, based on information contained in a 7-page report done by top Trinidad and Tobago forensic scientist Professor Hubert Daisley, who found that she did not die from natural causes but in suspicious circumstances. It took officials approximately 3 weeks to determine the actual cause of Chanel's death. A first autopsy done by pathologists at the St. George's General Hospital did not reach a conclusive determination on the cause of the death, and the state turned to Professor Daisley, whose findings indicated that Chanel died from excessive bleeding due to a botched medical operation. The forensic expert noted that some form of rigid instrument was pushed up into the private part of the deceased, who was about 12 to 15 weeks pregnant at the time of her death. The report also found that there was also evidence of force being used to subdue the deceased before her death based on impressions seen on her legs and thighs. Chanel reportedly died shortly after being taken to the General Hospital by the murder accused during the early morning hours of May 30th, 2020. The prosecution team, led by Senior Crown Counsel Howard Pinnock, will call some 11 witnesses to provide evidence of circumstance in the matter before the court. Philip, who faces a maximum penalty of life imprisonment if convicted on the non-capital murder charge, is currently on bail and is being represented by attorney Jerry Edwin for his defense in the trial, which comes 2.5 years after Chanel's death. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Efforts are being made to enhance the sustainability and climate resilience of the Lever coastline. Christina John has the details.
Lever Beach is a popular spot for social activities and turtle watching, however, has suffered immensely from coastal erosion due to climate change and sand mining. It is home to not only the Lever Beach, but a Ramsar site designated as a wetland of international importance. Rehabilitation and revegetation of the Lever Beach has been incorporated into the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP, Integrated Sustainable Landscape Management Project. Given the impacts of climate change and concerns about coastal erosion in the Lever area, and part of efforts to assist the community, the Forestry Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, students from the TMRSU Community College, St. Patrick's Environmental and Community Tourism Organization, SPECTO, and community members were engaged in a tree planting exercise on Friday. The UNDP team, led by Eden Photo, Sustainable Landscape Management Specialist, demonstrated a proper planting method in ensuring success in this venture.
Lever is an important turtle nesting area, and beach restoration, ensuring that the rapid rate of erosion that normally takes place, especially around this time, is sort of significantly reduced. So the students will be planting along the high water mark in strategic areas to ensure that we have full coverage and soil erosion is reduced in this area. Sustainability is crucial. And by involving the student, we sort of create an environment for continued management of the trees and so on. That is also consistent with what they are doing in Tamsisi.
SPECTO, the advocacy group responsible for organizing turtle tours, is led by Claudette Pitt. Pitt says the organization is feeling the effects of climate change and is happy that the move was made to plant trees.
Climate change is real, and the mitigation and the adaptation work that we have to do needs a lot more constant education and awareness. We hope that the more trees that are planted here, they will continue to grow and create some kind of mitigation to the rising sea level that is taking place on this beach.
Forestry Officer Dillion Palmer indicated that the new trees will restore some of the vegetation along the beach, while at the same time acting as a buffer for the coastline. One of the facilitators within the Tamsisi's environmental program, Earl Roberts, says students' involvement in the tree planting initiative is one way of promoting greater awareness of the value of the ecosystem.
The objective is really to allow for many of our students to understand the value of such an ecological location. Lever provides support in a social way, in an ecological way, and it's one of our pride locations on the island. And if our students can get involved to understand what's going on in that point and to be part of a tree planting initiative, I think that is an excellent initiative. So,
Christina John, GBN News.
For 2022, Grenada collected more than $112 million from the Citizenship by Investment program. The chairman wants the public to be informed about the program's undertakings and wants more appreciation of its benefits.
Retired banker and chairman of the Citizenship by Investment Program, Richard Duncan, is calling for greater transparency within the program.
Sometimes we do not always tell a good story. And we believe because we are doing a good job, there's no need to say we are doing a good job, but that is not enough. If you don't give people information, they will use their imagination. So we, and when I say we, Grenada, in my opinion, has done an excellent job in due diligence and in minimizing the risk that bad actors become citizens of Grenada.
For 2022, already $112 million was collected under the CBI program, and there are currently 968 applications to be processed. Addressing guests at the recent Investment Migration and the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited annual roundtable conference, Duncan, who once served as Grenada's Accountant General, called for more appreciation of the benefits the CBI program brings to the local economy.
I believe that we need to share information with the public. We need to ensure that the narrative around what investment migration is about and the way we use the funds to transform Grenada to meet the UN Sustainable Development Goals, to really bring resilience to the population. You know, we speak about infrastructure, we speak about building institutions. I think it must be clear to people how we allocate those funds to achieve those things.
The CBI chairman is assuring Grenadians that the CBI committee is ensuring that due diligence is done to protect the country from substandard investors.
If you look at all the media exposures, you will find you'll have a difficult time finding anyone where we have failed. And there are good reasons for that. I think the first and most important reason is that the bank that is involved in the investment migration program in Grenada does its own due diligence and has made it very clear that once an applicant does not pass their due diligence exercise, they will not be processing any funds.
Managing Director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, Larry Lawrence, commits to supporting the CBI program and ensuring the growth of the investment migration sector.
We certainly want to do our part in collaborating with the government and the CBI committee towards anything that will be for the benefit of Grenadians and the Grenadian people. So therefore we are in front in terms of collaborating with government and the CBI towards promoting and enhancing the CBI project within Grenada.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Labour Commissioner Mr. Reginald Lord proceeds to his retirement, and the country's first female commissioner takes over. We get more in this report.
Mrs. Valerie Thomas is Grenada's first woman to serve as Labour Commissioner. The Ministry of Legal Affairs, Labour and Consumer Affairs, in announcing her appointment, said she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the position, having worked extensively in the field of labour relations. A graduate of the Cipriani College of Labour and Cooperative Studies, Mrs. Thomas specialized in labour studies with an emphasis on negotiations, labour administration, labour dispute management, and tripartite dialogue. Her professional career includes employment with one of the largest trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago and highlights a sterling record of success before the industrial courts. Mrs. Thomas also has experience in the Grenada Public Service, having worked for more than 17 years in the fields of general administration and human resource development. In her capacity as Labour Commissioner, Mrs. Thomas is expected to drive the ministry's transformative labour agenda and give dedicated focus to finalizing the review of the Labour Code, strengthening case management, advancing the occupational safety and health agenda, building the decent work and disability in the workplace regulatory regime, strengthening dispute resolution to ensure justice and improve compliance, and enhancing workplace productivity. Minister for Labour Senator Claudia Joseph welcomed Mrs. Thomas to the ministry and presented her with the mandate to address outstanding labour dispute matters, engage key labour partners, and advance the priorities of the labour sector. Mrs. Thomas is from the Grand Bras St. Andrew community and takes over from Mr. Reginald Lord, who led the transitioning of the Labour Department over the last 3 months as Labour Commissioner. He proceeds on retirement, having served more than 32 years of service in the field of labor management. Her appointment as Labor Commissioner took effect on November 3, 2022. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
2022 Carnival Queen Risa McIntosh has placed third in the 2022 Miss OECS competition. Risa also captured the categories of Best Promotional Video, Miss Congeniality, Best Talent, and Best Interview. The event took place in Dominica on Saturday, November the 5th. Miss Antigua and Barbuda, Carrie Ann Thomas, placed first, while first runner-up went to Kajeen Smith of St. Lucia. The young ladies at the program for adolescent mothers are humans too and deserve respect. So says President of the Board of Directors for PAM, Jeanette James. She says that oftentimes these young ladies are ridiculed and wants this to stop.
Besides children or their peers making statements, you have adults making statements. I think without understanding, or maybe some people forget, that teenage pregnancy is nothing new. It's one of the oldest things in our existence when it comes to people being young and giving birth. And it is not something that young people should, a young lady, it's unfortunate that it may humbug certain things in your life, but it doesn't end your life, or it doesn't have to be that process that your career can no longer be what you dreamt of it. And we would like people out there to, if you know you're engaging in that form of discrimination, please stop, because we're in different times.
James noted that as a society, we need to help these young people rather than demoralize them, as oftentimes their pregnancies derive from different circumstances, sometimes beyond their control.
Been the ones to go forth and say, I am going to have this baby regardless. And if as a society we look down upon this, then something is very wrong. But we are working with them, and they know that they're within an environment with people that care about them and will continue to work for them, because people don't understand the reasons why they may have become pregnant. And it may have been abuse, or it might have just been curiosity of a teenager. And I don't think it needs to be a death sentence and be really ridiculed constantly over the fact that you would have had a baby, when in the eyes of God, a baby is a blessing.
Grenadians were shocked to hear of allegations against the former administration, which points to serious mishandling of government funds. That's what's been creating a buzz on social media.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter, as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell dropped bombshell contracts he alleges were penned by the government of former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell.
So what did he do? He contracted out those services to a private company called CJ's Managerial Services. And just so you understand that this isn't some joke, between 2016 and 2022, CJ's Managerial Services was paid over $13 million.
Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts about this situation. The following views are that of members of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Paul Graham asked, but who are the principals in CJ's Managerial Service? Malia Nazar asked, how long do we, the Grenadian people, have to wait to see a decrease in the food prices and electricity bill or increase in wages? I hope this new government will exploit anyone who is doing corruption in their party as well. All these politicians do is go back and forth at each other, but never fully give the people what they need and develop the country properly. I feel like the first 5 years will be about finding all the previous administration's faults, while the underlying issues will be as food on the table. And finally, Alson Mason says, I wish to remind Grenadians that the government are working on our behalf and should give account of their actions. After all, we are paying for it in tax, hardship, reputation, opportunities, lifestyles, etc. For me, I wish to know where my tax are being spent, how these decisions improve my way of life, why life is so hard in my country. And if you are aware of any wrong this government are doing, please let us know. Our only loyalty should be to Grenada and its people, not for party. People change. What working now may not work a year from now. That's why we got elections.
That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel, anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to anyone of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
Foodland Supermarkets had over 20 suppliers join their team for its official Christmas launch. It was held on Friday at its Lagoon Road and Market Square locations. Mahira Nelson is the marketing manager at George F. Huggins and Company.
We are celebrating Christmas. It's a Foodland's Christmas launch, and as the saying goes, the only thing rain can stop is cricket. Christmas time is a season which not only our staff look forward to, but all of our customers as well. You know, when you come through Foodland supermarkets, it stands out. It's a family tradition. People look forward to all the decorations. If you look around the store now, you can feel the energy, the vibe. You can feel a Christmas spirit, and that is something we look forward to at Foodland Supermarkets.
Customers were able to sample and purchase from the many products on display by suppliers. Nelson tells us what's to come beginning this Friday.
So we're starting things off with our Christmas launch, and the activities, they will be continuing. So every Friday we have what we have termed Merry Fridays. So you can look forward to something different happening at both store locations. Every Friday something different will be happening. We have a Cyber Friday, Flash Sale Friday, so persons can get tremendous discounts and deals. We also have our very own Christmas market, which will be on December 2nd, where suppliers, local entrepreneurs, food vendors will be present, bringing that Christmas vibe to you.
Foodland is known for its late-night Christmas shopping and giveaways around this time of year.
Of course, we have our extended shopping at Foodland Market Square on December 20th, and our signature event, that's a magical night of shopping, that will be happening again this year in a grand way on December 23rd from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on December 24th. So we just want to encourage persons to stop by Foodland supermarkets for the Christmas season. You can expect to get a lot of deals, good customer service, and a wonderful Christmas spirit.
On the road with the NLA, live on Hot 98, Thursdays at 10 a.m. and on GBN Television, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Meet the players, the agents, learn more about the exciting games of the NLA and how it has been transforming lives across the country. Promotion runs until December 15th.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to this segment of Good Morning Grenada. If you're just joining us, and I'll just give you a quick recap of what we've done thus far. The word for the day, encapsulate. It's a verb, and it means to show or express the main idea or quality of something in a brief way. It can be used in this way. Her first album encapsulates the sound of the 90s. We also had the thought for the day. Procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done the day before yesterday. All right, I also want to remind you to join us here at Classic from November 11th to 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Jingle and mingle. All right, on the buzz this morning, as I hinted to you, there are some topics there that I really would like us to look at, and I would like to hear your take on it. The first one we'll look at this morning is the greater public education on the CBI that is needed. All right, it says here for 2022, Grenada collected more than $112 million from the Citizenship by Investment program. The chairman wants the public to be more informed about the program's undertakings and wants more appreciation of its benefits. The TV producer is going to bring that clip up to us, and we'll hear your comments on it. The CBI program, you know, it has been laced with controversies in the past, but it too has its benefits. You know, it's a source of generating some much needed revenue. You know, but I think if it is done the right way, the right checks and balances are put in place, then it can be, you know, a very, very beneficial tool All right, so we'll wait while we get that clip on the TV so that we can, you can join in the conversation this morning.
Retired banker and chairman of the Citizenship by Investment Program, Richard Duncan, is calling for greater transparency within the program.
Sometimes we do not always tell a good story. And we believe because we are doing a good job, there's no need to see we are doing a good job, but that is not enough. If you don't give people information, they will use their imagination. So we, and when I say we, Grenada, in my opinion, has done an excellent job in due diligence and in minimizing the risk that bad actors become citizens of Grenada.
For 2022, already $112 million was collected under the CBI program, and there are currently 968 applications to be processed. Addressing guests at the recent Investment Migration and the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited annual roundtable conference, Duncan, who once served as Grenada's Accountant General, called for more appreciation of the benefits the CBI program brings to the local economy.
I believe that we need to share information with the public. We need to ensure that the narrative around what investment migration is about and the way we use the funds to transform Grenada to meet the UN Sustainable Development Goals, to really bring resilience to the population. We speak about infrastructure, we speak about building institutions. I think it must be clear to people how we allocate those funds to achieve those things.
The CBI chairman is assuring Grenadians that the CBI committee is ensuring that due diligence is done to protect the country from substandard investors.
If you look at all the media exposures, you will find you'll have a difficult time finding anyone where we have failed. And there are good reasons for that. I think the first and most important reason is that the bank that is involved in the investment migration program in Grenada does its own due diligence and has made it very clear that once an applicant does not pass their due diligence exercise, they will not be processing any funds.
Managing Director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, Larry Lawrence, commits to supporting the CBI program and ensuring the growth of the investment migration sector.
We certainly want to do our part in collaborating with the government and the CBI committee towards anything that will be for the benefit of Grenadians and the Grenadian people. So therefore we are in front in terms of collaborating with government and the CBI towards promoting and enhancing the CBI project within Grenada.
Cherry Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Thank you very much, Sherry, and very important, very important piece of information. The CBI, as you heard from the goodly gentleman, Mr. Richard Duncan, and I happened to see him recently, and I said to him, "You're looking well, happy retirement to you." But these guys can't retire. They've got a wealth of knowledge, and they will. I know Richard very well. He will, find avenues in which he can share his wealth of knowledge. It's 15 minutes after 7. I'd like to hear your comments on that clip that we just played, the importance of the CBI program. We also heard him talk about due diligence, ensuring that persons who are applying are, worthy individuals. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Joseph. This program is a program that I do not support in any form or fashion. Selling Grenadian passport under the guise of investment. And what we have, 900 and something persons application. Let us assume this 900 and something applications are proven. All these people, they don't come alone, they come with their families. Okay? So we're replacing Grenadians with foreigners for money. We only look like that one side. Money, money, money. Oh, the benefit, that coming, this coming, money coming, money coming, money coming. The love of money is the root of all evil. We only seeing the dollars. We're not seeing behind the dollar what can happen to Grenadians. We are replacing our people with foreigners. And again, those who don't bring their families, the money, whatever profit they take from Grenada goes out of Grenada to their families abroad. So I don't see how this thing could be benefiting. The only benefiting those who see the sum 21 million, how much million dollars upfront, but they're not seeing the repercussions. What will take place after? What happens after? We only look at it one side. It may God have mercy on Grenada. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Well, that's just, your opinion and so forth, but everybody's got an opinion, so I would love to hear from other people. Good morning. Welcome.
Mr. Innocent, good morning, and how are you?
I am fine. I am well. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for asking.
Good.
With this new program, or how they revamp this CBI, there will never be a restainer again under this administration, and there will never be a briefcase under this administration. We're sailing good in clear, clean waters. Have a good day.
You too, my dear. Have a good one yourself. Oh my goodness, Grenada is a wonderful place. I love this. I'm not changing Grenada for anywhere else. Never. 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're talking the CBI program, and let me hear your take. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Okay, all right. Yeah, Christmas is coming. Toys will be here. 18 minutes after 11. Let's see what our Facebook viewers and listeners are saying. Alison Cox Asplund says, all countries have CBI, but most of them is well controlled with high demands. It is not only about money. In some countries, the investors have to start investing a number of years before they get a citizenship. All right. Monet Williams says, good morning, GBN Grenada, Gordon Joseph, my Grenadian peeps near and far across the globe. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you viewing the program. I'm watching and listening with you all. Have you all selves a fantastic day and be safe all the way from New York. Thank you very much. Julian Alexander says, good morning, Gordon. Good morning, Grenada. Terrific Tuesday. Have a blessed day. All the way from New York. Okay. All right. Veronica Sandy says, good morning, GBN, Grenada, Carrico, Pity Martinique. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning to you too. Hope you have a wonderful day. Now, the number you can call, 435-2041. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm pretty fine.
Okay, I can hear that in your voice. Talk to me.
Yes, I just want to say a special good morning to a good friend of mine, Mr. Gordon Innocent Joseph, coming from Susan Douglas of Paradise. Good morning, my love.
Susan, how are you? How are you doing? Okay, Susan left us. Susan, thanks. Have a good morning. I had to pass up and get some roast corn one of these days, but you know how the thing goes. Good morning to you and the entire Douglas family out there in Paradise. Susan, Doll, Claude, everybody. Too many to call everyone. I can't remember everybody's name, but thanks and have a good morning. Paradise, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hi. Good morning. All right. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning, Grenada, near and far. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Innocent, not so innocent.
All right, that's fine.
No, Mr. Duncan gave a nice rundown of the positives of the program. Could he give us some ideas of what the negatives and the fallout could be? Because we need to balance the thing, equal and opposite reaction, okay? Now, my problem with the program is this. It encourages too many of us to be too lazy. That's my problem. But additionally, I'd like to add that in this country, over the years, we have been abusing the resources that we have. Innocent from St. Andrew.
Yes.
And you come over Grenada and come down Black Forest to the bridge just before you enter the top of Van Dam.
Right.
That piece of road that we call the highway, that was constructed between 1965 and 1967. The road passed closer to the river, a narrow, winding, dangerous piece of road, and the Blaze did that. Foundation to the bridge that you travel on was completed in 1967. And when Blaze lost the election in October of 67, nothing happened until Blaze came back into office. And in 1984, that bridge was completed.
Okay.
So that is a waste of resources to my mind. But that road was well done, because how many holes do you see in it still? Okay. Because it was well done. Now the problem today, we go whoop whoop, and we don't do a good job. Blaze didn't have money, but every year, what you see as the best part of Grantown Road now, where you see the flowers after you leave Grantown House there and the thing there, that was the road there, but he straightened it out.
Okay.
And every year he did a piece, and it was properly done. So up to today, you could see the results of work well done. I would like to advise this administration to think carefully and proceed cautiously, just as our Blaze did cautiously. He was too cautious for us Grenadians, so he kicked him out of office. But the work that he has done is still there. And one last thing, every year in the budget, Blaze had an emergency fund, and that was there in case something happened that was not budgeted for. They could immediately start to work on it.
Okay.
And the bridge by the call there, when that went in 84, after 85 there, because of the emergency fund, he was able to start work on that immediately.
Okay.
And I would advise this government to seek to do something similar.
Okay.
Because in 1967, Grenada had a nice year, and Gary came into office and used that money to buy True Blue and start Expo 69. History is a good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. But them time you're talking about in 67, and I don't think my dad had met my mom as yet, you know. So I mean, thanks for the history lesson, you know. We are a student of history always. But thank you very much. It's 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Those of you just joining us. Good morning.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Morning, Innocent. I could never, regardless of the government, support this kind of thing that they're doing. I took an MP government to court in 1999, thereabout, over the same thing with first rounds. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, we have to remember that the most intelligent people were involved in the jet industry, in war, in scientists. So we could have intelligent people. But it's not really necessary that they're doing the right thing at the time. This is something.
Let me ask you a question. I want to make it categorically clear. I want to get it from you. Are you in support or not in support of the CBI program?
This is why I could never, regardless of which administration, support this program. This is telling your mother. Ask Rob Gonzalez. It could never be good. This is like, I mean, a young Calypsonian made reference to how we were selling our whatever to Japan for whaling. How could we support that? It's scandalous.
Okay.
We could vote up better than one person. You read something about somebody says the other countries that is, but there are certain ways. You come, you live in your country, you live in the country. And most of the people who buying this thing, they haven't even set foot on Grenada. Come on. So we have to. Money is not everything, and regardless, unfortunately, you have so much short-sighted people in this country, whether leaders or the population. This thing could never be right.
Okay. All right.
I condemn it in the highest form, I think, because ask Rob Gonzalez. He said he would never sell his mother, which is St. Vincent. We could follow that. And I'm saying that because of Rav Gonzalez. You have a lot of implication in the future. What about, I mean, you could have a situation, Gordon, where because these people buy the thing, you see what we're doing, we're selling rights. You should never be able to buy a right. You should earn a right. Money talks, and you know the other one.
The other part, it works, yes.
So, and the people who have money always prevail.
All right.
The citizen of Grenada would be thinking, study places like where other people have become minority in their own country. Grenada is doing to be like that, whether it take 20, 30 years. People could make claim on this place. We cannot support that nonsense. They could find other things to do other than that.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you. The beauty of democracy at work, right? There are some places in the world that you can't say these things that you're saying. You have to say, if you're allowed to talk, you have to say what they want you to say. But Grenada, good morning. Good morning, caller. Hello? All right, we seem to have lost that caller. 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let me see what my people on the platforms are saying. All right, let's go here. Okay, all right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Hello, good morning. Someone is trying to get through, but they're not getting through. Keep trying, you will. Definitely you will. All right, let's go back to our Facebook page. Right. What does it profit a man to gain if he gains the whole world and suffer his soul to the lost? That's a good one. You're a preacher this morning. All right, Miss Allison. Let's go back to the telephone line and say good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Innocent.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I thought you gave up on me. Long time no here, man.
Oh, no. I got drenched walking this morning and everything, but I'm fine.
Good.
I'm not an expert in this matter of the citizen by investment, and I'm neither here nor there with it, I must say. There are pros and there are cons. But this is a well-known program. Canada has a massive citizen by investment program. They've had it for decades. It has brought in a lot of investment and, of course, a lot of people in Canada from, the East. And so they came in as citizens by investment. The United States has. Many other countries have. But you have to just manage it properly. Most of these people are not interested in coming and reside here, so I don't see them posing a threat. They may affect, I guess, the cost of property and other things because they're wealthy persons and they may take up, the good housing areas and so, and make it more difficult for, local native Grenadians to be able to buy property after a period of time. But I want to say something here. There's a difference, and there must be a distinction between the CBI program and the awarding of diplomatic passport. These are two different things. Everybody who becomes a citizen is not a diplomat. We are all citizens of Grenada. How many of us have a diplomatic passport? Very few, if ever.
You don't have one, right?
No.
Well, you deserve one?
You understand? So this is a totally different thing. And we have to make sure that we make that distinction. This awarding of diplomatic passports, to persons, some of them are very shady, character, is something that to me, that bothers me. Because most of those folks are using that diplomatic passport to escape, to elude justice, and to avoid, being caught in some of the things that they're involved in. So while the Citizen by Investment program by itself, if it's properly monitored and managed, it can be a benefit.
Okay.
This matter of diplomatic passports, that's what happened there just at the nose of election, as we said, a few days before election. This is terrible. And this is what scares me, because these folks can use their diplomatic immunity to do a lot of bad things and tarnish the image of our country.
All right.
But let's make the distinction, please, between the two.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. Good. Bye-bye. Yeah. I want to throw out a question. I would like someone with the knowledge to rearrange my ignorance on this. Does becoming a part of the CBI program, Citizenship by Investment, does that necessitate you automatically having a diplomatic passport? If someone has the answer to that, please clarify for me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Welcome. Thank you very much. I look at it from a different perspective. You see, the problem is, this is why when you listen to some people speak, this is why we in the third world countries, because of illiteracy, we don't read, we don't listen, we don't understand. This is why we had to keep begging these bigger countries, because they see things in a bigger light than we will. What we need to do in places like third world countries, like Grenada, is when you get involved in these programs, like the CBI, first and foremost, if the government is getting involved, they need to make sure and have the right structure and the right protections in place, that a foreigner don't come and exploit Grenada and Grenadians. Now, once you have that in place, I can see nothing wrong in anyone going to a next country and you invest $100,000, $300,000, $2 million, and yet still you have no rights to the country. There must be some form of right where you feel secure that they can't just throw you out because of your investment. In Grenada, we have a lot of people who live all their life here and just eat away what they can from Grenada, but never invest, never did anything to help develop the country. So my take on it is I have no problem with the CBI program, providing proper protection and systems they put in place to help whatever you get from it, that you help develop the country and the people in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure, because that is what I believe the money should all go to, helping to develop the country and the people as a whole. So at the end of the day, if the system is right, we all will benefit from it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Yeah, I like the tone of this caller. It all boils down to managing that operation. Okay, making sure that the proper due diligence is done, and in the case with Mr. Duncan, who is the chairman of the CBI program, the bank, as he stated, the bank that is responsible for overlooking the CBI program, they too have their own due diligence process in place. We're going to take a final call on this segment, then we take a break, and then we come back and look at the Liverer Rehabilitation Project. Good morning.
Good morning, Innocent.
Hi, welcome to the program.
Yeah. They are taking the census. I cannot change the thing a little bit before I talk about the CBI. They are taking census right now. I don't know if it's finished yet or if they're still continuing. So they will know the amount of people living in Grenada and what the status is. Well, I think they should be taking the measurement of Grenada again, you know.
Why so?
What the measurement of Grenada is to be square miles. It's no longer from north to south and east to west. The river and the ocean is claiming a lot of land. So we don't have that land mass anymore. So we have shrunk.
Okay.
The island called Grenada and Carriacou too, because the whole cemetery is in the water in Carriacou.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anytime you come up the Pulse area and you come up the bay, the ocean is almost on the runway already.
On the airstrip, while you're talking about my hometown.
I am living right there. And if I spit hard enough, my spit falling in the sea. Right there, right?
Okay.
Although I have a beautiful view, I see the sun coming up in the morning, that big ball of fire coming up to the horizon there. It's beautiful and thing.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's right there. I could just check about my foot short so you can't reach it, you know? But anyway, so the measurement of Grenada, the acreage, the mileage, or however they should say it, 133 square miles one way and 12 square miles another way. That is no longer the case. From east to west is not 12 square miles anymore, whatever it was.
Right.
Right? And look at St. Patrick up there. So you can't tell me from St. Patrick to St. George is 133 square miles anymore. So what I'm saying, the same way they take the census every 11 or 12 years or 10 years or however they do it, they should do the same thing with measuring Grenada. About the CBI, if the investors and them is making a contribution to Grenada, it should be for infrastructure, because right now Grenada is like an all worn out old woman, all worn out and tired old woman. Grenada needs an extreme makeover. We need new roads. Some of the hills should break down because we don't really need the hills. You can't do nothing there with it. And it ain't even breaking the hurricane anymore.
So why
there was a time when they said the hills used to break the hurricane.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
We are having a dialogue, not a monologue. Let me ask you a question now. Why would you want to interfere with God's work? Why would you want to break down the hills?
Well, they interfere with God's work by pushing back the ocean.
That is true, and we all know the implications thereof, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. But what I'm saying, so there are some hills that is not breaking the hurricane as they used to say that it was doing. What I see happening, people going and put houses up there. Right?
I would love to live in the mountains.
Our road is so narrow. I said them, I go down Grenville, and I said they can't even widen the road because there are buildings exactly on the road. What they call sidewalk is not sidewalk.
Right.
If they have to expand, I mean, I was in Grenville a day, and I heard this rumbling. And when I look, I see this thing coming down behind me, and I was scared.
What was it?
A big tall thing. Right?
Yeah.
And they say it's a truck. What they call it? It's a monster thing.
Okay.
I trying to look up to see who was inside this thing, and I couldn't even see the head of the person.
Okay.
It's true, I'm a short person.
It felt like a spacecraft to you.
Well, I can't even call it a monster. Right? And let me tell you this thing was coming on Canal Road.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So just imagine other vehicles could not even pass.
Okay.
And right by Progress Park, on the side of the road there, on the opposite of Progress Park, there's a big chunk of the road fall down already.
Right.
The river water is running right under it. So
Okay.
we have to widen our road, and we need new roads.
Right.
Some of the old one have to be condemned.
Let me tell you something, right?
Yeah.
I hope that I know the relevant authorities always listen to GBN. So you have just given some pro bono advice there. You in charge them for that, but I know they're listening. All right. Have a good day. Have a good one. Bye bye. Oh my goodness, folks. We take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will be looking at the revitalization of Livera, right? Enhancing sustainability and climate resilience of the Livera coastline. We will be talking on that on the flip side after this commercial break. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
On the road with the NLA, live in Hot 98, Thursdays at 10 a.m. and on GBN Television, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Meet the players, the agents, learn more about the exciting games of the NLA and how it has been transforming lives across the country. Promotion runs until December 15th.
Vaccine safety is always a top priority. Like other vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccines being developed have been through the same trial phases and rigorous process required for all vaccines. Global efforts on the development of the vaccines are built.
Good morning and welcome back to the program, 435-2041. And before we jump into the phone line, let me just relate what some of our social media platform users are saying. Good morning, I hope this will reach you. I find the CBI is like selling our birthright. US and Canada afford to do whatever, but when it comes to us, we don't have the economic backbone to take that repercussion. Look, when I first visited Canada, I did not need a visa, but now I do. Someone who was a foreigner and was given citizenship spoiled our name or reputation. That's very true. I remember that incident. All right, someone here says, I condemn the way the CBI was run and the lack of transparency. However, one can earn the citizenship by investing in the development of the country and must be given a period of vetting. It should not be used to assist people or foreigners to escape the law or paying taxes in their country. You do not ever give away diplomatic passports. There are protocols as to who must have these passports. Some may be given official passports and not diplomatic passports. Thank you very much. Joel Battis on Facebook says the last caller mentioned a few countries, but a good idea is to note all countries involved in CBI. They are numerous and more developed. Good. All right, so let's look at this other topical issue here, the revitalization of Livera. All right, it says enhancing sustainability and climate resilience of the Livera coastline. We'll have the clip from television and we'll listen to it, and then you can give your comments. I know for some people it might sound trivial, but it is of vital importance. A previous caller was talking about the sea claiming some of our land, making Grenada smaller. All right, let's see what happens. So we'll wait the clip.
Livera Beach is a popular spot for social activities and turtle watching, however, has suffered immensely from coastal erosion due to climate change and sand mining. It is home to not only the Livera Beach, but a Ramsar site designated as a wetland of international importance. Rehabilitation and revegetation of the Livera Beach has been incorporated into the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP, Integrated Sustainable Landscape Management Project. Given the impacts of climate change and concerns about coastal erosion in the Livera area, and part of efforts to assist the community, the Forestry Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, students from the TMRSU Community College, St. Patrick's Environmental and Community Tourism Organization, SPECTO, and community members were engaged in a tree planting exercise on Friday. The UNDP team, led by Eden Photo, Sustainable Landscape Management Specialist, demonstrated the proper planting method in ensuring success in this venture.
Livera is an important turtle nesting area, and beach restoration, ensuring that the rapid rate of erosion that normally takes place, especially around this time, is sort of significantly reduced. So the students will be planting along the high water mark in strategic areas to ensure that we have full coverage and soil erosion is reduced in this area. Sustainability is crucial, and by involving the student, we sort of create an environment for continued management of the trees and so on. That is also consistent with what they are doing in Tamsisi.
SPECTO, the advocacy group responsible for organizing turtle tours, is led by Claudette Pitt. Pitt says the organization is feeling the effects of climate change and is happy that the move was made to plant trees.
Climate change is real, and the mitigation and the adaptation work that we have to do needs a lot more constant education and awareness. We hope that the more trees that are planted here, they will continue to grow and create some kind of mitigation to the rising sea level that is taking place on this beach.
Forestry Officer DeLeon Palmer indicated that the new trees will restore some of the vegetation along the beach, while at the same time acting as a buffer for the coastline. One of the facilitators within the TAMCC's environmental program, Earl Roberts, says students' involvement in the tree planting initiative is one way of promoting greater awareness of the value of the ecosystem.
The objective is really to allow for many of our students to understand the value of such an ecological location. Livera provides support in a social way, in an ecological way, and it's one of our pride locations on the island. And if our students can get involved to understand what's going on in that point and to be part of a tree planting initiative, I think that is an excellent initiative. So,
Christelina John, GBN News.
Thank you very much, Christelina. And indeed, I endorse this initiative. I think it's important, and what I like about it most is getting the younger folks involved. All right, there is the opportunity for continuity. All right, if we can stimulate their interest from that young, we most likely will have them passing that on to their children and to their peers. So I think it's a worthy initiative. Give me your response, 435-2041. I notice the phone lines haven't lit up as yet. You want to bet if it was politics we were talking? Okay, good morning.
Good morning, in a sense. On that issue, we're quick to blame climate change. But while climate change, as I said about St. Lucia yesterday, it is other people. While climate change cannot be disassociated, we had to also ask ourselves, what have we been doing over the years? We've been undermining those areas as a people collectively.
And so part of it is a consequence, as we are doing in other parts of the island. So anything that we can do, and it must be holistic, not just in that area, all over. So it's one thing talking about restoring things there and then destroying Las Adres. We have to become serious.
Okay.
Serious. I mean, look what is happening in Caracou. Everything is about climate change now. So would we say what happened in the breakwater is climate change too? I mean,
okay.
Where we continue to allow sand mining is climate change, or like the cutting down, indiscriminate cutting down of trees to plant sugar cane, to sell rum to Europe.
Okay.
Is climate change. I mean, climate change cannot be discounted, but we have to take responsibility for what we do. We are allowing more and more modern slave plantation, which we call tourism, whatever we call it, hotels and so on. These are basically a new form of slave enterprise.
Okay.
Check the condition that the workers work under these. We need to really rectify. We could do much more. I mean, people talk about bright people. We need more creative people. I mean, people doing things in this area, and we could do it. We could do it collectively. We cannot let money just blind us. But we have to develop the patience, and we have to develop tolerance, and also willingness to dialogue.
Okay. Thank you very much,
right?
caller.
Yeah.
Thank you. 8 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and I'm saying good morning to you also, Barbara and Jones. She says, good morning, bless everyone in Grenada. GBN, keep up the good work. Love from Barbados. She's texting us from Bimsha. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Vincent.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you. I most certainly endorse what the previous callers stated. You know, a lot of times whenever we hear initiatives like that, you hear of the foreign component, but like he alluded to, the local, you know, the initiative coming from locals and being creative, I think is something we need to look at. And I would like to say that this is a conversation that must continue, and because you also mentioned the having the young people, yes, because we have to look at the future. That is so commendable, because I really endorse climate change. Some time ago, I don't know if I mentioned, I listened a preacher, and he was saying one thing we're not doing is paying attention. We need to pay attention to what we're doing, the impact of what is happening. Some time ago, a gentleman made a statement. Over the years, we're losing lots of trees, lots of plants, vegetation, good, important to us, and not taking note of them. So we need to start paying attention, and I think that has to continue. Something one of the previous callers, not on this thing, she said that a lot of land is being lost. But in a sense, I don't know if it's balanced enough, because we gain, we dump and we gain land too. So I don't know, probably enough.
The balancing effect.
Right. Yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too, man. 6 minutes on to the 8 o'clock. 435-2041. That's the number. I would love to see not just the Livera area, which is, it has its tourism potential, its tourism significance and importance, but I think in the mitigation of climate change, I think I would love to see an educational drive. Go out to the communities, reach out to the communities, and let people know. I think if people have a deeper appreciation for the effects of some of the actions, maybe they might start looking at things differently, Instead of cutting down, they will start planting more and so forth. So then, in the final analysis of it, we won't be just attempting to protect the areas that have tourism benefits to us, but on a whole, the country on a whole will start seeing the fruits of our good practices and habits. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again. There's a poem that they will learn in school. Of all the beauty spots of earth, the fairest and the best are the jewels of the Caribbean, the islands of the West. And this, a lot of the reclamation and things that we did in the South and up north have destroyed some of the beauty. So it is imperative that we take steps to reestablish good cultural practices. And I remember as a boy, when rain fell, the rivers would get heavy. They wouldn't overflow as much as rapidly as they do now, and the swollen river would last longer than they do now because the trees conserved the water in the soil and released it a little more slowly. That doesn't happen now. Everything is a rush off. And as it rushes off, it washes down most of the soil, the topsoil and things like that. So government has to be careful that when they're doing developmental projects, that they look at the locations and they ensure that trees are planted. I know in New York you can't cut down a tree without getting permission from government.
Yeah.
We should have some kind of a structure in place where trees must be planted in certain areas so as to preserve our environment, because we need trees to give us oxygen, we need trees to attract the rain and conserve the water in the soil, we need trees to give us spices and other foods, fruits and vegetables.
The importance of trees.
So we have to teach our children, our young people, and we have to remind our senior citizens of the importance of trees. And I congratulate my former colleague, Ol Roberts, for his involvement in this thing.
Okay.
All continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you oh so much. It's 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock, reminding you that at 8 we join the BBC for a bulletin of news. And if we have a caller in 10 seconds, we can accommodate that final caller. If not, that's going to be the end of the program. And the clock is on. Yes, someone. Bingo. Good morning.
Bingo.
Welcome.
Yeah, what I want to say is, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think could develop Grenada? Who is the people you really think that can develop Grenada?
I think the development of Grenada has to be an individualistic approach. Each one have to understand their role, and if each and every one of us do our role, Grenada will develop. And I'm talking holistically. All right?
Yeah.
If I decide, okay, this is my forte, I am going to practice good practices, environmentally, financially, whatever. Brighten the corner where you are.
Right, because we used to do that since in school as a play.
Yes.
Right, and it worked properly. And
you have to be brief, eh?
And you see, all now you remember. Right. Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to say is, as you say, is we to develop Grenada.
Definitely.
Grenadians. Even though they give us money or they give us help, somebody want to do something, we're supposed to be taking the money, working and doing what we want to develop Grenada. The foreigners coming to do things, they're going to do things their way, what they saw in their country and how they know. But we want to develop it to suit our system. The other day I was speaking about something. Look at some
you have 10 seconds because I need to go to the BBC. So
all right.
Be brief.
Culture. The youth center. That is a place where you should have a little cultural group performing when tourists come, a little steel band, make it a tour, you go there. So they put a bag or a hat, a box on the ground and somewhere there, and the people, when the tourists come, they give them a thing to the mix. So that helps them to improve on the culture.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
When I could talk a little longer next time.
No problem. Have a good day, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, God bless. All right, I want to say a very special thank you to all those of you who called and participated in the program this morning. Your input is invaluable. All right, we look forward to another program tomorrow. Until then, have a good day. Those of you on all the platforms, stick with us. GBN is with you anywhere and everywhere. Bye for now.